For today's lesson, we're going to look at solving and graphing one variable inequalities. So the objectives today is solve inequalities like you might remember from before in previous courses. And then we're also going to graph our solution using a number line and sketching that. So before we look at solving and graphing one variable inequalities today, we have to first talk about some inequalities themselves. So inequalities, what we're referring to there is the less than and greater than signs. So you have to know the difference between the two. And so less than sign, a good way to remember it, always points to the left, okay? The greater than sign points to the right. So first off, know the difference between the two inequalities. And we can also have equal to, where it also includes that value, so we write a line underneath that you remember from previous courses. When we're graphing our solutions in the end, we use open and closed circles. And if it's less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, we're going to use what's called a closed circle. And if it's strictly less than and greater than, right, not including the equal to part, we use open circles. So for example, if I were to graph the solution x less than or equal to 4, the first step is we draw our number line, which I have down below here. You can put values on the number line if you want, but really all we're looking at is that value of 4 on the number line as it would compare to 0. So if I kind of mark where 0 is, 4 would be 4 spaces away. There's 4. And in this case, since we're using less than or equal to sign, we are going to use a closed circle right above the 4. So that includes that equal to part. And since it's less than on the number line, we would point the arrow to the left because those would all be the lesser values here. And so from that circle, we would point our arrow the direction of that inequality. So this is what the graph would look like for x less than or equal to 4. Another thing you got to remember is anytime you're dividing or multiplying by a negative number is that you want to flip the sign whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number in your expression. And so for example, if we were to solve negative 2x less than 4, okay, when we're solving we want to get the variable by itself, and so I would have to divide by a negative 2, and I would have to do that to both sides to balance the equation. And so on the left side I'm just left with x, but since I am dividing by a negative number, we have to flip our inequality. So now it's not less than anymore, it's going to be a greater than symbol. And 4 divided by negative 2 on the other side is negative 2. And then from here we would graph using our open circle, and in this case pointing to the right of negative 2 because it's greater than. So when we're solving and graphing each inequality, the first step is to really isolate that variable first. So use your previous knowledge in solving equations, and just remember if you're ever dividing or multiplying by a negative number that we have to flip the sign. So it doesn't matter where we kind of put our a value, although it's encouraged to kind of try to get your a value on the left side. And the reason why is when we're reading equations, it's always, in this case, either a less than some number or a greater than some number. If you end up solving the other way and putting the a on the other side, you might have an expression that has some number less than a, and so you almost have to look at this backwards, because if you have a number less than a, looking at the a direction, that's the same as a greater than a number. So we always encourage you to, again, try to get that variable on the left side, and then it'd be easier for us to read in the end. So when we're solving here, to get the a's on the left side and the other numbers on the right side here, well, the first step I would do is maybe subtract that 8a to both sides. And if I subtract 8a to 1a, I end up getting negative 7a total. We still have that minus 6 that we haven't touched, but on the right side it's going to be less than or equal to 15 is what we're left with on the right side. So then the next step would be isolating that a by itself. So in this case, we'd add 6 to both sides. And when I add 6, I get negative 7a less than or equal to 21. And then lastly, we want a by itself. And so if I divide by negative 7 to both sides, I get a. Now remember, we're dividing by a negative number, so that sign's going to flip here. So it's going to be a greater than or equal to, well, 21 divided by negative 7 ends up being negative 3. So this is my solution. We solved it. Now to graph it, since it is dealing with equal to sign, we're going to use it, again, signify where 0 is on the number line and where negative 3 is from 0. And since we're using a equals to part, we're going to use a closed circle right above negative 3. And since it's greater than, we're going to point to the right because all greater than values would be to the right of negative 3 on the number line. So here's the solution, and here is what our graph looks like. So let's take a look at another one here. So here it gets a little bit more complex because we have to use the distributive property, get rid of parentheses here in order to solve for n. So this might involve multiple steps here to get n by itself. So remember, with order of operations, we do want to get rid of the parentheses first here when we're solving. So let's distribute that negative 7 through both terms. So I still have the negative 5n plus 6 on the left side, less than, and if I distribute that negative 7 through, it becomes negative 35n plus 42. You have to do it to both terms. And then we still have that negative 6n on the tail end that we haven't touched. At this stage, you might want to collect your terms on the right side. So on the left side is still negative 5n plus 6. But if I collect the n's here and take negative 35n minus 6n, well, that's more negative. So it becomes negative 41n overall. And we still have the plus 42. As mentioned before, it's encouraged to get the variable on the left side. And so in this case, I would want to add 41n to both sides. And so if I collect these together, negative 5n plus 41n, you get a total of 36n. We still have the minus 6. And on the left side, we're left with that 42 that we haven't touched. So the next step would be to add 6 to both sides because we want to get n by itself. And if I add 6, I get 36n is less than 48. And then to get n by itself here, I would want to divide 36 to each term. And so I get n less than 48 divided by 36, which both of these numbers are divisible by 12. So if I divide 12 out from 48, I get 4. And if I divide 12 from 36, I get 3. And so most reduced, it looks like 48 over 36 becomes 4 over 3, or 4/3. But our answer is n less than 4/3. So let's mark where 0 is. If these are integer values, this would be 1, and then 4/3 would be slightly past 1. In fact, a third past 1. So there's where my 4/3 would be. And so since it's less than, we're going to use an open circle right above that value of 4/3. And since it's less than, we're going to point to the left because that's where all less values are. So take a moment. I want you guys to try a couple on your own. Again, pause the video. But these are the last couple problems we'll go over today. So it's a pretty short lesson. So try your best and we'll go over these in a few seconds. Good luck. So let's take a look at the first one. So notice here we actually have 2 sets of parentheses that we want to get rid of first. So we want to distribute that negative 5 to both of these to get rid of those parentheses, and we also want to distribute the 2 through as our first step. So we still have that negative 6x in front. We're going to keep that. But if I distribute the negative 5 to both terms, that's going to be negative 5x, and then negative 5 times 1 would be negative 5 itself. Greater than, if I distribute the 2 through, it ends up being 2x plus, well, 4 times 2 would be 8. If you have like terms on one side, it's always good to maybe collect those first. So we have negative 6x minus 5x. That ends up being negative 11x. Still have the minus 5, still have the greater than 2x plus 8. And remember, it's encouraged that you put the x's or the variables on one side, in fact, the left side here. So if I subtract 2x to both sides, we end up getting negative 13x minus 5 greater than positive 8. And then I would add 5 to get the 13x by itself. So add 5 to both sides, get the number on one side, the variables on the other. And so what I'm left with is negative 13x greater than 13. And then last step would be to divide by negative 13 to both sides. Now remember, here we're dividing by a negative number, so we have to flip that sign. So our answer would be x less than, well, 13 divided by negative 13 would be negative 1. So this is the solution you should have got for the first one. And then if I were to graph it, remember, always acknowledge where 0 is, negative 1 on the number line, and then since it's less than, we're going to use an open circle, and specifically pointing to the left because we're looking at all values less than 1. For that second one, the first step would be getting rid of those parentheses on the right side. So if I distribute the negative 4 through, that would allow us to get rid of those parentheses. So you also might want to collect these terms, 14n minus 10n. So if I collected those terms together, that becomes 4n. We still have the plus 5 less than or equal to 3n would stay in front. But when we distribute that negative 4 through, well, negative 4 times 2 is negative 8n, and then negative 4 times positive 1 would be negative 4. Now we'd want to collect these two terms, and so on the left side we still have 4n plus 5, but on the right side if I collect those two, that ends up being negative 5n. Again, it's encouraged to get the variable on the left side, so if I add 5n, that would have all the n's on one side, specifically left here. And so if I collect these two, that ends up being 9n. We still have the plus 5, less than or equal to, and we still have that negative 4 on the right side. And then so last stage would be subtracting 5. So we have 9n less than or equal to negative 9. And then the last step would be dividing by 9. And here we're dividing by a positive number, so we don't have to flip the sign. So we're left with n less than or equal to, looks like negative 9 over 9 would be negative 1. So we get similar solutions here. The only difference is, in this case, it's going to be a closed circle. And so if I were to graph this one on a number line, again, acknowledge where 0 is, where our value is, and then since it's equal to, right, there's a line underneath that inequality, we're going to use a closed circle, and since it's less than, we're pointing to the left. So that concludes today's lesson. It's pretty quick and short, so refer to Canvas for your practice for the day, and don't forget to submit your formative assessment before the end of the day. Have a great rest of your day.